welcome back to the On Ramp podcast. Hello, Leah.
Hello.
Hello, Dave.
Hi, Alex.
I've been told that you're referred to as Dave by your football team, so
it's my garage name.
We should be referring to you as Dave today. No, we're with Louise Baker today from Womanic. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a long time coming.
It has.
And I'm quite excited because I'm pretty sure you're the first female garage business owner and technician combined into one that we've had on the podcast.
Yeah.
You get a prize.
Which is really cool. Oh, you do get a prize. Like, don't let me forget, you get one of these beautiful mugs.
Oh, great.
Everybody gets one of those, though. You need a special prize.
Okay, I'll think about a special prize. I've not got it with me today.
Money's always good.
Yeah, that'll do.
Right, now I've cleared that up. Welcome to the podcast. I think that today it'd be great to hear your story about how you've got into this wonderful trade and how you end up fixing cars and running a business.
I always think everyone hears this story so often. I spiel it off.
Well, I've not heard the full story before, so I've met you. I've lost count of how many times I've met you at various events. You're always out there. You're always about. You seem to have. I don't know how you do it with your time because you're everywhere. And you've just taken on some new cool stuff as well. So you've actually started a TV show recently, which we'll speak about as well, which is really cool, called Auto Angels.
That's it.
Is that right?
Yep.
So I'll stop speaking because I've been speaking now for 3 minutes and you've said hello. So do you want to how did it start? How did you get into this trade? What's the background?
Oh, okay. So I've been in the trade for over 20 years. My dad would tell you that his earliest memory of me picking up a spanner was at like 4 years old. I used to follow him around help him repair his friends' cars and just helping him, just walking around.
Was he a tech?
No, he was a plumber.
Oh, okay.
Just hands on there and...
Yeah.
Just fixed everything.
I think when you're hands-on anyway, you're pretty much hands-on in anything.
Yeah, you have to go at anything, don't you?
Exactly. And then I had an old Mini at the age of 16 that would break all the time. The wheels would fall off.
So was that your first car?
Yeah, it was my
proper
first car.
classic Mini?
Bought it from a scrappy.
Did you?
With my post office account that my granddad made for me.
Money well spent. Yeah.
Was that all the little post office books that you used to go in and
Putting money in that account for
That's
16 years and you bought a classic Mini.
That's it. Bought an old Mini. Wish I kept it now to be minted.
Yeah.
But yeah, bought that and chavved it up. Big body kit, wheels, you name it. Spent 12 months doing it up with me.
Have you got pictures of that?
I have, yeah.
Send me the pictures.
Send them over.
It will appear on the podcast.
It was my pride and joy. When I sold it, I cried. I cried. I crashed it numerous times. Rebuilt it numerous times with my dad. It's a nightmare. But he's got osteoporosis. Mm-hmm. So he struggles to like kneel down and get under cars and things like that. So he used to have to tell me what to do in order to repair it because I didn't have loads of money.
So hang on, you bought this project for your dad to do?
Yeah, pretty much.
Right. And then you quickly had to learn how.
And then again, because I used to moan at him because it was never repaired so I could get out in it. I'd be like, why haven't you done this, Dad? So yeah, repaired it, fixed it, and then I had loads of car clubs. We used to go around the country in our Minis. There was like 15 of us, little convoys. And then from that I had other different cars, quite heavy in the max power underground street racing scene.
I can imagine, actually.
Yeah,
Do you remember Max Power?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
It was like defining at that.
I remember bobbing around in a Nova going to...
Oh,
it used to be... Nottingham was good for the... You used to have the circuit.
Yeah. Did you ever go to the circuit?
Oh, we went so many places. I've lost count.
Yeah, Nottingham was famous. You basically drove around this block. It was like quarter of a mile probably in total. Outside a nightclub. And it was like 4 sets of traffic lights.
Every set of traffic lights, she was like racing off a line.
It was ridiculous.
We watched a police car rolled it there once.
Did you?
Yeah.
It was full, and this was the era of mopeds as well. So it was just clapped out bangers and mopeds just driving around this block.
I think Nottingham was the cause of that section, whatever it is now, where if you get a noisy car, they can confiscate it.
So you had a Nova, did you?
Nova, yeah.
I had a Fiat Brava.
Oh my goodness.
A Fiat Brava, not even the cool Fiat, which was the Fiat Bravo. And I say cool, I mean, relative to the Brava. The Brava was like the family version of the hatchback.
The Bravo was the little sporty yellow. Was it yellow? No,
it was grey. It was green. And I put the alloys on it, big fat spoiler on it. Then wrote it off.
Oh dear. Sounds
as you do.
That's it. I had a Tigra and it had a big body kit on it.
See, Tigras are nice though.
Yeah, you have the goldfish bowl one, the one with the big glass screen at the old one.
Yeah.
Did you ever do a head gasket on a Tigra? 16 valve. Oh, nightmare.
Hundreds of them. They were good little cars. They were. I can see you in an Nova, Leo. Were you as tall as you are now?
Turbo.
Were you a lot smaller back then? Or
No, I was taller. taller.
Yeah, so I used to go do all that sort of stuff, and then I approached Fletcher's Auto Store, which is like, do you know Fast and Furious, the first one, where there's that nice auto shop and they sell the alloy wheels and dump valves and the big exhaust.
Dump valves.
Yeah, it was just like that. And I asked them to sponsor my club, and they says, yeah, okay, we'll do it, but
also you set up your own club?
yeah, it's my own
Course.
club. Yeah, of course
Awesome.
it is. Sponsor my club, and they says, yeah, right then, but we want you to come work here. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I went to work there as a Saturday job because I was doing my A-levels. And then I worked there as performance specialist, and I had absolutely no clue what I was doing. I was good at styling and stuff. And then from that, I did that, and then I did their internet, their online performance catalogue. I did that for a little bit, and then I got made redundant. And then I got headhunted by an alloy wheel company, and I sold alloy wheels for them for a little bit, and I didn't get on with the manager. Told him to stick his job. And then I thought I'll come out of the merch trade, and I started selling furniture, putting furniture together. I had a company car, which I thought was the best thing ever.
Made it. Yeah.
It was a Rover 45.
Did you put a K&N filter on it? Yeah.
I just put a Kenwood mask in there. That was about it. I did that for a little bit, and then and then retail hit. Then I went to work for Lidl as a manager for there, and I did loads of little management bits throughout retail. And then I landed a job at a very well-known service and MOT centre in Wednesbury as a greeter. So basically, I was unemployed for 2 years, and I would strip old Rovers for parts, and I'd sell them on eBay. That's when eBay was like
Just starting. Yeah.
and it was wicked. Like for 2 years, I did that, and I'd phone Taroni's, the local scrapyard, and they'd deliver me engines to my mum's, and I'd drag them up the entry, and I'd start stripping them down in the entry with this really shitty toolkit. Just learning how things came apart and went back together and what the different components did, and then I'd just get these bits and I'd just whack them on eBay just to make a little bit of money. And then from engines I went into stripping cars, and it just went from then really. And then I started engine swaps and building my own wiring looms.
Oh, wow.
Modifying. We had like the
So hang on, this was all whilst you were unemployed. Right, okay. Building your own business, basically.
I was just learning. Do you know what I mean? I was just
put in the hard yards. That's where you learn, though, isn't it?
I learned so much in those 2 years. I learned I can't loads.
Yeah.
And then what happened then? So then I worked for that MOT service company because I thought I need to get a job because I need to get a mortgage.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I went to go and work for them as a greeter because I got nothing on paper to say that I was qualified or actually knew what I was doing. You could only just go by what I was saying. And then they gave me a job where I just checked people in, so like front of house.
At that point in time, you were clearly proficient with spanners if you're doing all what you just said you were doing. Why did you not pursue that career at that point? Why did you go as a greeter?
Because back then you had to have a qualification.
And no one was willing to give you a shot.
Yeah, no one would employ you if you couldn't prove what you could do.
Yeah, it's true actually. Now it's almost less of a thing. If you walk in somewhere and say, I've been doing this for 10 years, it's like, yeah, okay, come in, when
can you start?
Whereas,
you prefer it.
Whereas back then it was kind of like qualification was, you needed, wasn't it, basically?
Exactly, and I didn't have any apart from my GCSEs. That's
did you
all I
consider
had.
going back to college?
No, I hate college.
Oh, did you? That was just not an option.
Listen, I went to sixth form to do my A-levels, and the only reason I went to sixth form is because my mum says to me, if you carry on at sixth form and do your A-levels, I'll still give you £5 a day pocket money for your lunch. So what I did is...
meal deal sorted.
I had my mini, so I'd go in at 9 o'clock, I'd sign in for college, and then I'd jump back in my mini, put £5 in the tank, razz around all day, go back at 3 and sign out. So I did that for 2 years and then wondered why I failed my A-levels.
You had a good time though.
I had the best time.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Those things, at the time you think, oh my gosh, what am I doing? But looking back now, I had the best time of my life. I really did. It was...
And the father probably got you, like 8 litres?
Exactly.
Filled the tank in the minute.
I raced around every day, all day. Mm-hmm. I didn't stop. So yeah, that I didn't... When I did at that MOT service there, I was there for like 5 years and I progressed really quick. So I went from greeter to supervisor to assistant manager to running the entire service centre.
Oh, wow, okay.
So
this is a proper auto centre with how many technicians?
15.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, I did really, really well. I was top sales.
What do you think what made you progress so quickly? Like what was your?
I loved what I did. I loved what I did.
You can still love what you do and not progress, though. To go from essentially probably the lowest rung job in the branch at the time to running it in 5 years, it's a significant trajectory.
It was a new company. It was the only centre at that time in that area. I got on really well with the people higher up. And I think I proved myself, you know.
You're quite organised.
Yeah, I can be. But I can be. I've got ADHD, so.
So you're either extremely or not at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Put it this way, when my accountant asked me for my accounts, I'm like, yeah, I've got them, or I have not. And then I'm up all night for like 5 nights trying to get everything sorted.
That'll do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did that. And then I came, and then they treated me really badly at the end. And I hit a really bad place. It was horrible.
How old were you at this time when you exited there?
Oh my gosh, how old am I now? 43, 33. I must have been 30s.
Okay.
Yeah, early 30s.
Okay.
I left there and I went to work for Euro.
Oh, okay.
I left that other garage through mutual agreement.
Okay.
No questions asked.
Yeah.
We'll move on.
And then I went to work for Euro, which was really good. I was sales manager at Coventry, but I was only there a month. Coventry was too far from where I was living. So in the meantime, I was applying for Tesco as an out-of-hours manager.
So you're still not sure that you're sticking with the motor industry then? Have you had like a love-hate relationship with it?
I think because I was treated so badly from that service and MOT centre, it completely put me off.
Okay.
It massively put me off.
Yeah.
The stress was horrendous. It was really, really bad. So I left there, went for work for Euro, and then in space of 30 days, I'd managed to land the job at Tesco's, which was literally on my doorstep. So I said to Euro, I'm really sorry, I can't continue because it's just too far. So I went to work
That'd have been
Tesco.
interesting if you'd have stuck with that, wouldn't it?
I know. But I was at Tesco's then for like 8 years.
Okay.
I had nothing to do with cars. I sold my classic car, sold all my car parts.
Oh, so you completely just...
I completely come out of it. I had a tattoo to a piston with some wings and a halo to think, I'm not going in the motor trade ever again.
He's dead to me.
I hated it.
Well, right, yeah, so it was, to do that, you was properly peed off with it.
Yeah, I hated it. I'd had enough. But then, and I was at Tesco's, and then that was quite possibly the worst job I've ever had in my life. I had my first panic attack. I suffered really bad with anxiety. I lost a lot of weight. You'd work 15 days straight, 15-hour days sometimes. You were dragged around the shop, criticised constantly, put down. It was horrible. It was a really, really nasty place. Really bad work culture. It's just ugh.
And was that for the whole duration you were there, or did that kind of get worse
No,
as
it was
you kind
the
of progressed?
entire time.
Right, okay.
It was just the worst.
Why did you stick it for so long?
Yeah.
Because it was on my doorstep, because the money was so good.
Right.
I had a mortgage at the time. And it was my first place, my first mortgage, my first place, got bills. And I think because you worry, don't you? You know, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to pay my mortgage? I live on my own. I've got a car, you know, there's things that I have to pay for, so you worry about. And then I think when you get paid so much money, you live to those means then, don't you? You know, it just happens.
Yeah, and when once
So
you do
true.
earn a different level, you worry then how can you earn that somewhere else or whatever, and the grass isn't always greener, is it? And
Never. And then and if I was to step down, I'd have to take the cut in money, but then how would I afford to live?
Did you, after a few years, start missing the motor industry, or was it still off the radar?
No, didn't miss
You
it.
were done.
Yeah, I'd had enough. And then, right, so...
What role, sorry, in Tesco's then, where did you get to? What was the career path in Tesco's? Because you excelled so quickly in your previous role.
I literally went in as out-of-hours manager and I left as a shelf stacker because I stepped down. So I went in as out-of-hours manager, so I'd work nights. So I'd work 9 on the night until 9 in the morning.
That's not good for your mental health.
It was horrendous. And then all you do is sleep all day. So you had no communication with people. You pretty much lose all your friends.
Did you have, were you in a relationship at this time?
Yeah, so then after about a year of being at Tesco's, I got with my daughter's dad, who worked there nights.
right, yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
It's almost like convenient.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. How'd you
meet someone?
when
You don't.
it's those antisocial hours, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think unless you work nights, you don't really get it. It's not a nice thing to work.
So you were sleeping, were you getting like 7 or 8 hours sleep per day through the day?
Sometimes I get 12 hours sleep in the day. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you get loads of sleep. Sometimes you wouldn't get any sleep. And it depends on outside noise then as well. There was a garage right opposite my apartment. Imagine they're a full-on garage.
So the trade's still taunting you, is it?
Knocking at my window, literally.
There's been quite a bit of research, hasn't there, about like people working shifts and nights and that lack of either not having a normal routine where you sleep at night and you're aching the day, or shifts that change all the time is really bad mentally.
100%, and I totally get it. And even when you come out of it, it's still really hard to adjust. I think it took me about 18 months to adjust back into day night.
How many years were you doing nights for?
8 years.
Crikey. Yeah, because routine is like such a massive thing, isn't
Huge.
it? And when imagine it's bad enough coming back from holiday and you have to get up 2 hours earlier again or something like that. It's routine.
Yeah, if I feel a bit off, my routines is probably because my routine's off. Do you know, if I'm not feeling that productive or that great or just great personally.
And it's like a double-edged sword sometimes, isn't it? Because you know you need to get back on it, but you're feeling a bit rough or whatever.
Yeah.
Or
Then imagine if you're constantly criticised at your job as well. I mean, not just me, the entire team, even all the other managers. You're constantly knocked down. You're constantly beaten up.
This is just ultimate pressure coming from above.
Absolutely.
At the week, so presumably you didn't work every day.
I worked weekends pretty much every day. Yeah.
So on your day off, if presumably you had a day off, were you still sleeping in the day?
Yeah, because sometimes you'd get your day off not split or split. So imagine you have a Monday off and then a Friday off. But if you've worked the night...
You're sleeping in the day. Then you're up through the night on your day off, sat on your own.
So technically, you don't get a day off.
Yeah, screw that. That's not for me.
I never thought about it before, but yeah,
Awful.
No, it's a
But
different,
people got to do it.
It's a different life, isn't it?
Fair play. There are industries where the country relies on people doing those shifts, and fair play to them. But it ain't for me.
It's the premium we get as well, because obviously if you work nights, you get unsociable hours and you get a premium for it, which is why I was on so much more money.
Right. Okay.
You get paid that extra bit of money, but honest to God, it's not worth it.
There's a lot to be said for driving to work when the sun's up, though.
Oh yes,
Driving home from work when it's a nice day and you can have a bit of
it's lovely.
Yeah,
it must be horrible as well when the summer comes in and you start seeing the nicer weather, but you're at work, so you're asleep.
That's it. Yeah.
It's the worst. So then obviously I was there, and then I fell pregnant with my daughter, 2014, I think that was. Yeah, she's 2014. And then I didn't want the stress anymore. So I stayed as manager through my maternity leave so I could get my decent money.
Yeah.
And then when I went back just stacking shelves on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Hated it. Did it for about 6 months. Couldn't stand it. And then
That must be really difficult to accept as well, because you've succeeded so much in management roles.
Yeah.
And now the perception of a shelf stacker is not great.
Yeah, it hits you hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to yeah, when you're not that, I'm not that person. It's all right for people that want to do that and they want to go to work and not have to think about anything and then go home and they'll just switch off. That's fine. I'm not that person. It's just not for me. So I would go to work and I would literally be thinking of everything I could possibly do to get out of there.
So that's where you were now.
Yeah.
You were looking for your exit.
Yeah.
It's also worth. Did you make that shelf stacking job decision because of the child?
Yeah, because my daughter. So I was a single parent, and I just didn't want the stress when you're on your own and you've got a newborn. And I ain't got a clue about kids. I'm not very maternal anyway. Do you know what I mean? Although she was planned and I wanted her. I didn't naturally have that maternal instinct until she came, and then I was just like,
Instincts kick in.
she's just the best thing in this ever. But you want to spend all your time with her, and when she's poorly, and and you feel bad leaving them. With my parents. My parents are older now, so you just want to be there, and you don't want to project that stress onto them either. You want them to have a nice life.
Not come home stressed and then pass that through.
Because that does happen. And I don't want to bring that home.
Yeah,
it really does happen.
It's horrible. So I stepped down Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and I would spend all my night shift hours thinking about how
So
I'm
you were
gonna
still
get out
doing
of here.
nights, stacking shelves, and single parent.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Then
Like going home in the morning, doing school run things, and
Yep.
yeah.
Well, then she's just a baby, so she wasn't.
Oh, of course,
She was just
yeah,
up and
yeah,
down
yeah.
sleeping, but
But the baby's not going to respect your shift pattern.
no.
That baby's not working nights.
But even then, like while I was figuring out what I was going to do with Womanic, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, like I wouldn't get any sleep. Oh, I'd have like 2-3 hours sleep. So I would function on 2 or 3 hours sleep, and I did that for 2 years. Just amazing how much sleep you can go without. You know, I think I timed it one day, and I went to. I was awake for 32 hours.
Yeah. Broke.
I am such a baby when it comes to sleep. If I'm like less than 7 hours, I feel it. And me and Nat have got 2 kids, and she's that sort of person that can, if the kids have had a bad night and she's up with them, she can function the next day.
Yep.
I don't get it. What are you like with sleep?
Yeah, if I have more than like 2 consecutive bad night sleeps, I'm useless.
And everyone knows about it with me as well.
But again, I guess that's
like a bear with a sore head.
No, I'll start to feel ill probably within a few days, I think. But I guess that's just because you're not used to it as well, isn't it?
You do start to
Adapt.
it's a bit trippy. No.
Yeah.
When you
okay.
go that much time without
Bit
sleep,
delirious.
you literally
It's
do
like
go
being-
delirious.
Well, it's like being when you're hungover. A lot of that feeling is just because you're tired, isn't it? That kind of like you can't concentrate properly, can you? Or
I do think mums are hardcore though. I do think they
Yeah,
go into a
definitely.
different gear.
We do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think Harriet's not had a proper night's sleep for like.
Yeah.
She tells me for 6 years since I was born. It's not funny, Alex.
She won't be listening to this.
No, we're fine. We're all good.
Oh God.
On the Ramp is very proudly sponsored by Castrol and the race group from Surplus Energy. Our own business, Lindley's Auto Centres, have been using Castrol products via the race group for at least 10 years. We get our own account manager. They help us set up the oil portfolios across the branches. And there's also someone to ring if we've got any technical queries or general queries. And having that relationship with the account manager, I think, is really important. We get dual branded workwear. So just like what I'm wearing now, we get this free for all members of staff. We get to use the Castrol brand across our entire business. So things like building signage, websites, general marketing, etc. And working with a globally recognized brand like Castrol, I believe, can really elevate your own brand. There's a rewards platform. So for every purchase, we accumulate points that we can redeem against certain items on this reward platform, which is pretty cool. And then there's an integration via our garage management software that allows us to actually see the exact oil product code that should be used in that vehicle, which in today's world and the complexities of oil is actually really helpful. So if you want to learn more about how Castrol can help elevate your business and you want to learn more about how the race group can help you, then please click on the link in the description below. Thank you.
So it was getting bad. So you did 6 months there. What was next? Shelf stacking.
Yeah, I carried it on for 2 years until I'd figured out Womanic, and then I'd spend literally. My manager would say to me, "Right, these are your aisles, these are your cages to do," and I'd be like, "Yep." So I'd get my cages and I'd position them, and then I'd run off to the toilet, and I'd be like, "Right, how do you open a business?"
Was this on Google on your phone
Yeah.
or just
So,
research?
so your first thing that you wanted to open your own business,
Yeah.
right? Was it?
And I knew
then
what-
you thought mechanicking.
Yep.
Right.
I knew I wanted to be in business, and I just sat there and I'd brainstorm. What do I love? What do I love to do? And I was just like, I love cars. I miss it. This is what I love to do. This is where my passion lies.
Did that
I guess.
idea start creeping in after you decided you were going out on your own? Or was it starting to creep in?
It was starting to creep in, I think.
Was it?
Yeah, because I thought I was going to open a taxi firm.
What?
Cars, isn't it?
Go cabin.
I was like,
The thing about cabin is it's quite low barrier to entry, isn't it? You need a car, or you can even rent a car. So you just go to a firm
With Uber now,
and they give you everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you can do your license. Like apparently, doing your license in Birmingham was harder than you. So you go over and do it in Wolverhampton.
Or Wolverhampton, half the cars in Nottingham are plated on Wolverhampton.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was going to do an all-female taxi firm. That was my thing. That's originally what I was going for. And then the more I thought about it, I thought, I just want to do something on my own. And that's when I thought, I went to bed that day and I literally dreamt the name Womanic. And I was like, woman mechanic, Womanic, woman.
Yeah.
That sounds all right, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
It's a great name. It's a great brand.
And
You wake up in the morning, write it down, and you didn't forget it.
No, it was stuck in my head, and I said it to my ex-partner, and he was like, oh, stupid. It's a stupid idea. It's a stupid name. But my problem is, right, if you tell me something stupid,
You're gonna do it.
I'm going to do
Yeah.
it.
It's done. Consider it done.
Yeah, that's the best motivator. When someone says that won't work or you can't do that, it's like, I'm fucking doing it.
Absolutely. I was like, forget it. It's happening. And I just went with it. Well, and that was it, really. I had £500 savings. I bought a T-shirt, some business cards. And
Did you still have your tools?
I bought Halford's Pro Set.
Good set.
Underrated set.
I've still got it.
Lifetime warranty.
Very good set.
Brilliant. I've still got it. So I use it every day.
So you bought toolkit, business
And-
cards.
Yep. And then I started doing friends and families cards, and I'd put on Facebook, I'm starting up by myself. I'm
Where were you
friends
doing
and
this
families.
at this point?
In the car park at my apartment
Was you really?
Yeah.
I love it.
on Jackson Stands.
So it's like mobile mechanic kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And then MOT, I'd outsource. So I'd outsource the MOTs and I'd do the repairs myself. And I offered free collection and free delivery. And that was my main.
So you were collecting cars, bringing them to your apartment, and working around your kid, I presume, at this point
Yep.
in time.
Yep.
So you got your own freedom.
Yep.
It's your decision.
Yep. I mean, I've got pictures of Ava sitting in the back of my van playing with tools.
Really?
Yeah. She's wicking the sockets out everywhere. And
So you start with friends and family.
Yep,
And
and
how
then-
did you then
well, then they
market
spread it.
yourself or?
They just spread it. They told everyone what I was doing, and then people would contact me. And then I made a Facebook page. Then I googled how to. Oh, and then I had to get insurance. That was the hardest thing, I would say, was getting my traders policy, because I live in the middle of Birmingham. People who aren't in a trade were getting traders policies. So
So there's suspicion around what you were doing.
yeah. So I had to prove that I was a proper business. So obviously I had to register and all that sort of stuff, which I was in the middle of doing anyway. But they wanted me to have a website. So then I had to teach myself how to build a website. So then I taught myself how to build a website. I mean, my website is rubbish, and it's literally there for insurance purposes only. It's not there for anything else. But I just knocked it up just to prove of what I was doing. And then I managed to get my traders policy, which was great.
How did that? Were they happy to insure you working from the apartment car park?
No, I told them that I was just a mobile mechanic.
Suppose.
Yeah. Well,
What's
it
the
don't matter. Don't matter
What's
what
the
you're doing, does it?
difference?
Really? Yeah.
Technically, I was.
I'm a mobile mechanic from this exact parking space.
Yeah. Not very mobile.
And then
Did you do anything out on the road, or was it all?
No,
Right.
I did. I did a few, a few niggly things, but I didn't do anything major. But when I first started, my mum would always say to me, you can't do this. You haven't got a qualification in it. I'm like, Mum, I can't. I know what I want to do, and I think I'll be really good at it, and I want to do it. So just let me carry on. She's like, okay, I'm not. Are you sure? She's like, she's my biggest fan, but she's always my biggest critic.
Fair play, though.
Yeah,
That's what you need,
absolutely.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need someone to ask the questions.
Totally. So
You're still going to ignore them.
Yeah.
Still-
Yeah.
Well, I am. And then even at 2:00, 3:00 in the morning, I'd be out double checking. I'd go to someone's house that I'd just done the car, and I'd be double checking that I'd tighten the wheels up and stuff.
They
Just
wake up and open the curtains. Wasn't someone there
it's
with
just
torque
me,
wrench?
just double checking
Good job
everything.
ring cameras weren't around then. There's a notification on your ring camera. Lose there.
You go viral. If anyone's seen the nighttime torque wrencher?
It's because I lacked a little bit of confidence, I guess, because you have obviously my ex-partner saying it was a stupid idea, and then my mum saying, "Oh, you're not qualified."
that's when you
It's
want
like a little bit of negative energy, and it just questions your ability a little bit, I guess.
So if
like
your
imposter
question,
syndrome.
yeah, well, it is. It's 100% imposter syndrome. So I'm guessing that you are grossly undervaluing what you're doing at this point in time.
Absolutely, I was.
And when it's all family and friends, they're quite hard to bill, aren't they?
Yeah, 100%.
So how was that? How did you get over that?
just
Because
kept going.
you weren't doing it you're not a charity, are you?
No. I obviously I charged them, but because I had no overheads, I didn't have to charge loads of money. However, you do, because you're still good at what you do. And so I just thought, so what I did is I never put any markup on any of my parts or anything. So I'd sell, my customer would get the parts at what I charged them at, and then I'd charge a labour fee on top. And I did that for the first, say, 2 years, just so I could get a decent customer base, and just get a name for myself, I guess. And then as I got bigger, I come to more and more different events, different networking stuff, and I spoke to more different people and got a little bit more insight, and I've completely changed the way I do that now, obviously. And now I book 4 weeks in advance now. I don't take on any new customers. Well, hardly.
That's cool.
I take on the odd couple if we get cancellation.
Yeah. That's the problem, isn't it? If you're working on your own, a cancellation can be quite a
can
big
knock you.
deal.
But I guess sometimes it's quite nice. You know,
Yep.
right, I can actually catch up with something
Yep.
now. Or
Absolutely. I love finishing at 2:00.
So it sounds like you earlier you said I wanted to do something on my own. Is that was the business plan from day one? You want to be in charge of yourself and look after yourself, or is there ambition to get staff? Or
No, there was originally when I first started out. That's what I wanted to do. I thought, I could franchise, and I could have all little Womanics all over the country, and do that sort of thing. And then when I looked into franchises, it was massively expensive. You had to put so much money up front, and I don't have loads of money. And then the more I thought about it, the more I thought, I've been there and I've earned decent money. I've managed to have loads of nice things, and with that has come so much pressure. And so many people rely on you, and it's not a nice place to be. And now I'm a mum. Time is so much more valuable than money. And I'm really happy where I am in my career at the minute and in my personal life. I think for me, this is the best place I've ever been, mentally and physically. To me, this is the strongest I've ever been.
what's the strongest version of you?
what did you put that
Yeah.
down to?
What do I put that down to? I put it mostly down to Ava because, my daughter's changed my life. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have stepped down at Tesco's. I wouldn't have started my own business, and I wouldn't have that work-life balance. If you imagine before Ava, I was at Tesco's working all them hours, being so stressed, but earning all that money, I'd still be there now.
It's funny, isn't it, the cards at life deals and how it changes your life and trajectory. And
Do you feel like you were like chasing that career ladder sort of life?
Chasing
previously?
money.
Chasing money.
Yeah, and I think you do that when you're younger anyway. You do chase money. Even with the apprentices I've had over the years, they're all like, it's money we want. I need to get my driving lessons. I need to get my car. I need to get a place. It's like a list of things you have to do.
Yeah. That's very true.
Society leads you to believe that you have to do.
That being said, if I assume that doing what you're doing now, in demand, like have you got a unit now?
So I have a big double unit at the back of my parents' house, which I built myself.
Of course you did. So you had to spend the time on learning how to build that then.
So when COVID hit, obviously we couldn't work. So me and my dad, we took the garage up another 4 foot because it was already a garage, but the roof wasn't high enough. So we put the garage up another 4 foot, and then we put a roof on it so I could get a mid-rise scissor lift in there.
Okay.
So now it's wicked now.
So you got your own unit.
Yeah.
That must have been quite a game changing. So you come out of COVID then you go into COVID working on your
Yeah.
in a car park.
Yeah.
And come out of COVID working from a unit.
Yeah.
And your overheads, you've obviously kept your overheads really low as well then.
Well, I haven't got any. I've only got all my traders policy and my public liability.
Yeah. And like I say, if you're gonna have to sacrifice something if you want to pursue further, or like I say franchise, and it's that, and there's the risk as well, isn't there? Because you can put all that time into it, you don't know how it's going to work out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm at the age, I'm 43 now. Hopefully, I'm not always working on the spanners all my life. Do you know what I mean? My body's not going to take it, let's face it. So eventually, hopefully it will lead into something else.
Have you got aches and pains from the trade? Are you doing okay?
Right, okay. So I thought I was having aches and pains from the trade, but it was menopause. I was perimenopause. Now I'm quite far along in the menopause and treating it. I found my own way, my own path. So obviously I've gone down the natural route. I look after myself. I eat better. I go to the gym.
You work out quite a lot, don't you?
Yeah.
From what I've seen on.
Yeah. I feel like I deal with it really well. So at the moment, no, I don't have any aches and pains. I play football every week. Obviously, I go to the gym.
You keep fit.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like I'm the best version.
Yeah.
I've ever been.
All that all helps, doesn't it? Definitely, yeah.
Fair play. Yeah. That's amazing. So that's not all you're doing though.
No.
So is that kind of, are you kind of like Monday to Friday, or do you work certain days and then leave time for other things, or?
Monday to Thursday.
Right, okay.
I try to have a Friday off. Fridays is, what do they call it, an admin day. But for me, it's not. I go to the gym, I do the
Is that what you
cleaning.
tell the boss you're doing? I'm going to do an admin day.
Unlike today.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do. Obviously, I do a lot of school stuff, so I'm always out I go to loads of different schools, do STEM days, careers events.
Why is all this so important to you then? So for the listener, you are involved in, and I admire you for the amount of work that you put into like schools,
Loads.
colleges, encouraging females into like, it's unbelievable what you do and the cost to you to do that. I mean, you're doing it for the good of the trade, really.
Yep.
Like, where's that energy come from? Where's that drive come from? Because you're sacrificing, you booked 4 weeks in advance.
Yep.
So there's a lot of work and money sat there waiting for you to do it, except you're going into a school to speak to a load of students.
Yeah. I think I'm really lucky with my customer base. They know I'll be 10 years old next year. They know me well enough to know that you have to book in advance. So they all book in advance and they're all willing to wait, which is really good. I know the car like the back of my hands. So, you know, I know what's going to go wrong. I can preempt it. I educate my customer well to book in advance. So with the schools thing, I have to do that. I feel like
Where's that come from?
it's my daughter, obviously. You know, when I go into a school now and I'll speak to kids, what do you want to do? Health and social care. I want to be a hairdresser. I want to do nails.
Yeah.
I want to look after kids. I'm like, do you not want to be a plumber? Do you want to be a mechanic? Do you want to be a sparky? What about a builder? What about building your own house? Oh, no one's ever said it like that. Why?
Yeah.
Why aren't you looking at these options? Not just mechanics, any blue collar trade. Why not just? And it's not just about girls either. It's about lads. Do you know? I did a school the other day. There was 200 students in this hall, and I did a presentation. And before I started, I says, "Who wants to be an electrician?" Not one hand. 200 students.
I guess it's all is it all like online and coding or computing stuff? And
I want to be a footballer.
Okay.
Oh, was that a big one? How old were these kids?
These are about 14, 15.
Oh, right. So they're at that decision-making stage, aren't they? Literally.
Yep. No.
Did you go through all the trades?
Yeah, I went through all of them.
And no hands came up?
Maybe they were shy.
Just joking it,
What did the hands go up to?
What would they want to be? YouTuber. That was a big one. YouTuber and footballer were the main ones. To be fair, I had 2 girls put their hands up for Formula 1.
Oh, that's cool.
Which I thought was good. Yeah, that was rare.
I bet that's to do with the whole Netflix thing, and that's massively
really popular, isn't it?
Yeah.
Army. There's a couple for the army.
You know what the army do well though? Advertise.
Yep.
Their adverts are wicked.
That advert where it's kind of like
makes me want to drop everything and join the army. Like they're like whoever's dealing with the army's marketing.
It makes you realise what you can do in the army. It's the same in the motor trade. Everyone thinks like, oh, it's a mechanic. They don't think of all the other options in the trade.
You are so right, because the advert I'm thinking of, it's someone's journey. And then at the end it's the army, and then it goes for all the job titles at the end, doesn't it?
That's true. So when I like from the schools, I'll say to them, you know, what's your favourite subject? And a lot of them will say, oh, I love art. And I'm like, have you not looked at the motor trade for art? Like, you could be a painter, you could do airbrushing, you know, you could do Formula 1 graphics, you could do rallying. There's so much scope for if you've got that artistic, talent. I mean, I did A-level art, although I failed it because I was booting around in my Mini. I've got that artistic trait, do you know what I mean? So but no one ever gave me the motor trade as an option. No one at school. Everyone at school knew that I was into cars.
Do you feel like you're making a difference to these schools when you go in and do you preach the motor trade or trades?
Motor trade.
Motor trade.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
Yeah, the motor trade.
How long have you been doing that for?
Oh God, a couple of years.
Have you kept in touch with any students? You followed any journeys into colleges or?
When I go, because I revisit a lot of schools because they ask me to go every year eventually. And like the last school I had 2 students come down because they were in the year above, and they come down just to make a special.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, yeah. It's nice.
And what's the schools say about it?
Yeah, the schools love it. The schools
from
like
a motor
it.
trade point of view.
Yeah, well, that is different because the schools get the same old people, so they get the same old colleges going into schools. They get the army are into schools a lot. They always go into schools. They just get the same people, lawyer, solicitor firms. It's always the same stuff. They never get anyone like from the motor trade in there.
And I guess they've got more of a motive, whereas yours literally passionate going in.
That's the epic thing about this.
Yeah, I just do just because I'm passionate about it, and I love. You know, I find it so rewarding. Like, obviously, I'm hoping they take a lot from it, like the students do, but I probably take more from it than they do, because when I start talking to them, I mean, the last one, last year I went to one with Jess from Euro Car Parts, and we did it together, and we both come out there emotional.
Really?
Yeah, that's how much we took from it.
That's wicked.
It was amazing.
Do you go into colleges at all, or is it mainly schools?
Yeah, I've done colleges. I've done
So when you're in college, are you talking to automotive students, or you?
Yes. So I did a college a few weeks ago, and they were automotive students. Although he did me a tour, and I went around like animal welfare bits and stuff, which was quite cool.
Which college?
Wolverhampton.
Everyone's they're flying, aren't they?
Yeah,
Because the college is sick.
Nath was on about them, wasn't he? And
I think we've interviewed a few people who've been to that college.
I'm sure it was Wolves.
It will be Wolverhampton. Yeah,
It's amazing, like big setup.
really good automotive.
how did
setup.
you get into going into the schools and things? Where'd that start from?
People ask me.
Right. Okay.
That's the thing about me, right? I don't apply for anything. Is it whether even if it's like TV or anything? I don't apply for nothing. People ask me to do stuff. So the schools, people ask me. As I've got older, I've realised any opportunity given to you, you take it.
Yeah, you never know what's going to come.
It doesn't matter what it is. Take the opportunity, and if it doesn't work, you learn from it.
Well, I can see that you're probably pathing out your next stage of your career, aren't you, ultimately? And what that will be, you don't really know, but do these things and something will appear somewhere, won't it?
Do you like teaching?
Do I like teaching? Not really. I don't know. Do I like teaching? I like one-to-one teaching. So, like, you'll find I have loads of work experience throughout the year. I'll have people just hanging out with me for a week doing work experience.
Really?
Yeah. And I really enjoy that. It's really good. I've got Tom with me now. He's doing he's not even my apprentice. He's just at college doing his apprenticeship, and he needed to get 72 hours work experience. And him and his mum reached out to loads of different garages in the area, and they didn't get one reply. And he sent me an email saying, no one's replying. Can you help me? I was like, yeah, I'll see you on Monday.
Cool.
And he's like, oh, all right then.
Wicked.
So he cracks on with me every Wednesday now, actually, because I switched his day. But yeah.
So moving on to Auto Angels, then this is it's kind of in the same space, isn't it? As you're trying to promote positivity in the trade. Where did this come from, and what exactly is it?
Yeah.
So Auto Angels, I put a post out on LinkedIn asking for a producer or some sort of TV company to jump on board, because I had an idea for a documentary. And then Carmen reached out, who's a writer. And she's like, oh, tell me all about it. So I told her about it. And she said, oh, no, just the person. So she reached out to Ben, and Ben's a producer. And then we teamed up and formed Auto Angels. So basically what we do is we've got an all-female cast who work on the spanners, or is a painter or a welder, or they're in different areas of the motor trade, dotted all around the UK. Are
these people you already knew?
No, I just put a post out saying,
really? So
any females in the motor trade want to jump on these projects? And I had loads of people reply, which was good, isn't it? I mean, I had girls replying to say that they're in the trade, and we were overwhelmed, the amount of people. And we all got together and had a coffee and a chinwag, and we were all on the same page. But what come from that little meeting was we all had the same passion, as we wanted to encourage and teach other people. So basically what we do is we'll get someone's car who's maybe they're struggling, maybe they're going through a hard time at the minute, maybe they haven't got enough money to repair it, and we fix it for them. But while we're fixing it for them, there will be a story with it. So obviously they'll tell us why they can't get the repairs done or whatever. And then we have there's like a training element that goes alongside it. So it's kind of like twofold.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's where
That's cool.
we're like angels.
Oh, what, is that out now, or is that being?
What was
Yeah,
that
it's on
show where they used to like do it, but it was to a house instead, to someone?
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah, what was that show? It's a very similar format to that,
It's like
isn't
Lawrence, whatever guy was
Yeah.
the one.
Lawrence Llewellyn.
it? Someone's struggling and they come in and
That's it.
renovate a
Like
bedroom. or
DIY
something.
SMS.
Yes,
Yes.
That might be it.
That's the
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
Yes, similar to that.
that's wicked. That
But
is.
it's on YouTube at the minute.
That must be good fun to do.
It is good fun. It's hard work.
How are you picking people? Because I'm assuming you're getting people jumping on the bandwagon wanting a bit of a freebie, or are you?
It depends on what the story and what the work is. We haven't got a workshop that's a fixed permanent place, so we have to try and juggle.
So are
Depending
you
on what
like
the job
traveling around the
entails.
country to do that? Were you?
We're trying to keep it local at the minute.
Yeah.
If you bear in mind that me Ben and Carmen, we all have full-time jobs. So to get Auto Angels off the ground, we're doing all this is our own free time, and we're putting our own money into it just to get it up and running. So it takes a lot.
How many episodes are there?
Oh God, there's quite a few, but we haven't released them all yet.
Right, okay.
You're just in the process of filming, and
yeah. I'm just like, obviously Ben's got to edit it all, and then he'll post them. We're trying to spread it out so we can.
How long does each episode take to film?
We film usually over a weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we usually do Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. People don't appreciate. How long is the episode?
Probably about 15. No, it's about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But you see about 10, 15 minutes. It's like 5-minute chops over on YouTube. But yeah, you're going to say about how much time it takes to edit, how much time it takes.
Just the whole thing.
To produce a
30
Oh,
minutes.
my
15
goodness.
minutes.
Yeah.
Like we've learned that with Your Garage, that obviously do with Nath, and it's a 15, 20-minute episode. But the amount of work that goes in from me and Nath, and then from the producer and the editor and everything else that goes with it, just for 15 minutes.
Yeah, so difficult. And aligning
And
everybody's
expensive.
diaries as well.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many people involved. You've got to align everyone's.
Especially weekends, I guess.
Oh, my goodness.
So it sounds like you're just smashing it all around. Great
Try.
place. Business is good. I'm assuming the business, you mentioned earlier about in the previous career you were chasing the money, but doing what you're doing, the way you've structured it, set it up, you've got freedom, but there's still profit. There's still good money to be made in doing what you're doing.
I can turn it on and off, can't I?
Yeah.
You know, if I want to work all day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, then I'll work all day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But if I don't, I'm like, sometimes I struggle with childcare because obviously I have to make sure that I've done the school drop off and school pick up. I fit everything else in. For me to have a decent balance, I start at 9 and finish at 2:30. That way I can get everything done. But if I really need to, obviously when my daughter goes to secondary school and she can walk home on herself and stuff like that.
You can extend those hours. quite a bit.
Absolutely. And I've got the customer base to do that. I can do that. I can turn it up and I can turn it down. You know,
Do you manage to switch off in the evenings, or are you always doing something?
it depends on messages and stuff. I always reply to messages and things like that. And it depends on whatever else is going on. Like if I've got anything to do with Auto Angels as well, I have to sort that out.
And how do you manage booking work in then if you get something in and it, for an MOT it needs no new breaks but you're kind of busy? Do you allow a certain amount of time in the day or?
Yeah, so I can book anything from like 2 to 5 jobs a day, depending on what they're asking for, and depending on how old that customer is. Just for the fact that I know if I've been doing that customer's car for 5 or 6 years,
You know what might.
I pretty much know what it's going to need.
Yeah. If it did breaks to it last year or whatever, or
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or if I've got a brand new customer and I don't know anything about them and they're booking in for an MOT, I'm like,
It's quite cool. It's almost like a VIP experience that customer's getting, isn't it? You know, to have that level of
The
detail.
value that they're getting can't be from.
And I remember
anywhere else.
that when I first started, like you get a car coming in and you talk to a customer, and again, you know exactly what you've done to it, and yeah, you kind of forget that level of it's like in a hotel. What do you call it when you kind of
Concierge.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, it's true, isn't it? Like, yeah.
I think that's what you said actually with the IAAF thing is when
Yeah.
you says to me, it's like a one-to-one personal experience.
Oh, it's like I was talking to you about value. Can't
Yeah,
we talk
that's it.
about pricing, weren't we? And what they're getting from you,
yeah.
they won't be able to get from
No.
any, like you have no comparison or competition.
Yeah,
So it's like, what are they willing to pay for that?
100%. And from that, I put my price up.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, though, isn't it? It's like I know that you when we were having that conversation, you were like, you know, I'm earning enough money to do this X, Y, Z, and that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But can you be earning a bit more money because you can do
More school stuff.
more stuff with that
Yeah,
money?
yeah,
You
yeah.
can do more of what you want to do.
Yeah.
You know, Auto Angels, like you said, it's not cheap.
No.
That needs money to get off the
Yeah.
ground. So yeah, it's an interesting one when people think they're content with what they're earning, so they don't put the price up. But when you're booked 4 weeks in advance, offering this level of service like you are offering,
Yeah.
there's definitely profit missing there.
That
Do you
definitely
find
resonated.
that harder because you do know your customer so well?
No, I've got no problem putting prices up or anything. It makes no difference to me. But I try to be fair.
Yeah.
And because I want to keep that customer base, do you know what I mean? And in fairness, it's pretty much set my MOTs, servicing and repairs depending on what the car is. I forgot what I was going to say. Menopause brain.
What? So
It's about prices and what you're charging. And
So 10 years time from now, we sit down again. Where are you at in business? Where do you want to be? What's the dream?
Just to be happy. My dream is. I haven't got a dream for anything big. Just to be happy.
Are you content?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm in a really good place. I'm in a very good place.
That's wicked.
I've got my own house, which is not a massive house, just like a nice 2-bedroom semi. I've got a good circle of friends. I've got my family. I don't earn millions of pounds, but I don't want millions of pounds. I just think with lots of money comes big responsibility, like I've said before, and it's not something that I want anymore.
It sounds like you're knocking on plenty of doors. There's going to be opportunities arriving at some point, isn't there? And
it feels like that.
Yeah.
See where it goes.
That's why I love that whole, just explore something, because why not?
You got it, yeah.
Yeah.
So, final remarks then, because we're approaching the hour. What would you say to if there is? I'm hoping there will be some younger women listening to this episode. What would you say to them about just getting into the motor trade, and not necessarily as a service advisor? I think the service advisor ratio from female to male is probably quite healthy.
Yeah.
But every other role in the automotive trade, I feel like, is so heavily, male dominated.
Why would you not come into the motor trade? I think it's got the perception of, you're going to get bullied, or it's so male dominated. But the guys have given me, not just in this, because when you join the motor trade, it's almost like a little family, isn't it? It's like a little bubble. But even outside of this little bit, the men around me are so supportive. I don't feel like there's not
intimidated at all.
Yeah, 100%. And don't believe what your parents tell you, because I think it does come a lot from your parents.
Society in general.
Yeah, do what makes you happy. Do what you love to do. When they say do a job you love and you don't work a day in your life, it is 100% true. It's not a load of shit. It's true. Love
career change.
Yeah, love getting out of bed. Do you know what I mean? I've been in jobs where I've hated getting out of bed. Like, I've been sick with it. Like, I've had panics and I've phoned in sick, and it's the worst place to be in, is that position. And now I get out of bed, I can't wait to go work. I'm up at 6 o'clock. I'm walking the dog, I'm washing up, and then off we go to work. I have a great day. Every day is a good day. I think not a lot of people can say that.
Fair play to you, smashing it. And what a wicked story as well. I had
awesome.
No idea about all of that history. Because you've done it all, haven't you,
You've
really?
done all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
You've only got an hour, I'll be here all bleeding day.
And you've ended up in a place where what I'm getting from you, probably more than any other guest that we've had on so far, is just how content and happy.
Yeah.
And you've done it all yourself.
Purposeful. You've made it all happen with proper intention, and you are where you are, and you're really happy about it.
But I do believe only you can change things. It's your life. Only you can make changes. A lot of people will sit in the chairs and just moan about day-to-day life and how crap it is, and oh my God, the world's the worst, and I hate my job, I hate my life. Do something about it. Only you can change that.
Yeah, from that mindset, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't got forever.
No, time moves pretty quick, doesn't it?
And anything can happen. And what I've learned, my dad's got terminal cancer, and he got diagnosed last year. My dad's my best friend in the whole wide world, and the change that I've seen in him in the past 12 months is unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. He's just deteriorated so quick, and you would never believe in a blink of an eye your whole world could just flip upside down.
That's so true.
Yeah, live for today, isn't it? You've got to have an element of that. Whilst if you've got a game plan, you can't sacrifice too much of the now for the tomorrow, can you?
It's really difficult though, like you said, when you've got responsibilities, you feel like your hands are tied. But years will go by, like what you talk about.
And then you'll have regret, and regret eats at you. It's just not nice. Do it, give it a go. If it don't work, it don't work. You give it a go.
And what doesn't work out will open up another opportunity anyway, won't it?
Exactly. You just don't be stupid with it. You've got an idea, run with it. You don't have to get into thousands and thousands of pounds worth of debt, and
probably don't worry about seeking validation, because I think that's what people have ideas and they'll go around and ask loads of people, and that's what probably puts them off. So if you've got ideas, go for it.
I do feel like if you want it, I'm the sort of person, if I want something, I'll go and get it.
Yeah.
And if I want to succeed in it, then I'll succeed in it. If I don't want to do it and I've got no interest in it, I've got no heart in it, it's going to flop.
Yeah, yeah. You always find a way
Yeah.
if it's something that you want to do.
And I've always been like that. That's gone throughout my life. Same as building my garden. I wanted a new patio. I built one. I wanted a summer house. I built one.
Nothing phases you then.
That sort of mind. Thank you so much for coming on. Really enjoyed the chat. How can people find Auto Angels?
Just Google it. Auto Angels.
Straight on Google, YouTube.
You can go on my Womanic page and there's links from there.
Yeah.
Or it's on TikTok, so YouTube.
Okay.
You crack on.
Have you got anyone supporting you with that? Any sponsors you want to give a shout out?
Of course, LKQ Euro Car Parts are sponsoring. They're our main sponsor. They are just the best at supporting the little man.
Yes.
That's all I can say about them. They're just great.
Yeah.
But apart from that,
Who's your point of contact?
Tina.
She's wicked, isn't she? She's
the best.
If she listens to this. Tina, if you're listening to this, send us a message. This will be a test to whether she actually listens or not. No, she's awesome. Okay, I think we'll wrap it up there then. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
coming
thank
on.
you.
It's
Having
been
me.
Awesome to hear that story.
Wicked story. Fair play. Smashing it all round.
Right back at you.
Yeah, thank you. Right, I hope you enjoyed that and we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you guys.
Cheers. See you. Bye. Bye.